Every major gang in 5M history has a legacy. For some, it's their tactical dominance, for others, it's their roleplay. But for the Sassy Shooters, their legacy is tied to a single location that has become a monument to both their best and their worst moments. In late 2023, the Sassy Shooters were the kings of the montage era. Zeke, Clarities, and Grin were pulling numbers that most montage makers only dreamt of. They were the competitive trolls, taking over Echo RP, Prestige, and the most notorious server at the time, NoPixel. But before the reformation, before the new Sassy, there was a moment in a war while fighting against one of the biggest PvP groups led by Haunt, representing the Triads and Echo, that changed everything. It was a moment that didn't just break the game, it created a meme that will live in 5M history forever. To understand the implosion, you have to understand the stakes. The Sassy Shooters were in a heated war with Triads on Echo, led by the infamous back-to-back World Cup winner Haunt. This wasn't just a skirmish, this was a war for bragging rights on one of the most competitive servers in the scene. Sassy were playing with an almost terrifying level of confidence. They were aggressive, they were loud, and leading the charge was Grin. At the time, Grin was the guy you put on the front line because he simply didn't miss. But then came the fight that birthed the legends. Grin was holding a specific alleyway, a tight corridor with limited visibility. Grin was holding a certain peak, and in 5M, this is a standard peak. But what happened next was anything but standard. Grin began hitting shots that defied the physics of the game. He was snapping to targets before they were even fully visible on a normal player's screen. To his teammates, it looked like the ultimate clutch performance, but to the Triad members on the receiving end, it looked like a disaster. That alleyway and arena, now notoriously known as Grin Alley, and is now the official call out for the location. When the clips hit the Discord servers, the community didn't just get angry, they got creative. The Grin Alley peak became an instant meme. People started posting gifs on mocking the blatant snapping of his crosshair. The Sassy brand, which was built on being just better, was suddenly under a microscope. But for Zeke and Clarities and the rest of Sassy, this wasn't funny, this was their reputation. The Grin Alley meme was a constant reminder that their top shooter had been caught red-handed. The evidence was undeniable, and Grin was using an external software to lock onto the Triads. The fallout was a total implosion. Echo RP handed out the bans, the Sassy Shooters were labeled as alley cheaters, and the group that massed tens of thousands of views was now the laughingstock of the competitive scene. Grin's betrayal wasn't just against the server rules, it was against the guys fighting with him. The human side of this story is what happened after the Grin Alley incident. The Sassy Shooters could have folded, Grin could have changed his name and disappeared, but instead they leaned into the accountability. He had to face the music. He went from being the god of the alley to a guy who had to prove he could hit a basic shot without help. The reformation wasn't overnight. It took months of playing in the shadows, months of being the butt of the joke, and months of rebuilding the trust with his fellow Sassy men. The nuke later went off overnight. Sassy released their side of the story during their Triad war in Echo, showing they weren't just the issue. Echo admin known as Breakfast was in the Discord VC, constantly relaying locations to Triads, giving them the extreme upper hand.
Just streaming in Discord. Breakfast was like, yo, if we lose this war, we're not undefeated anymore, so we gotta win this shit.
We need help. They hopped on back up. I'm coming.
I'm not pushing you right now.
I'm getting AR.
He knows you're there.
Where is he going though?
Look, we got all pills. What do they do? Look, same thing. Just leave.
We're gonna play.
They're stuck in rows. They're running.
Zeke's
We see him.
What's down?
Zeke's close to you.
Kill them. Just keep rotating in cars. This is perfect.
Look in the alleyway.
One's one shot. One's one shot.
We're coming.
I'm holding you.
Go with me.
Zeke's chilling by himself. He downed one.
One down.
There's two there. Be careful.
I need help. Push
Come back.
What made this all worse is Sassy, then a covered Triads, also had a cheater, also known as Tommy Trashcan. So not only did Grin mess up and get caught, but Triads member Tommy got caught as well, leaving both groups getting exterminated and indefinitely banned from Echo. Triads and Sassy had to reclaim their identity. Sassy realized that they didn't need the Grin Alley meme anymore to be legendary. Both gangs realized that they just needed to be the group of friends that started the journey in the first place. Sassy came back with Grin in their corner, Zeke and Clarities in the mix, and then joined alliances with their past enemies, Haunt and the Triads, creating the most dominant 5 of all time. Today, Grin Alley is still a meme, but the sting is gone. The Sassy Shooters have reclaimed their spot in the 5M hierarchy, not through cheats, but through persistence. They returned to the top servers, winning tournaments, but they carried the lesson of 2023 with them. They've shown the community that you can fall, you can get caught, and you can even become a meme, but if you're honest about it, you can come back stronger.